What's up, everybody? This is Bree from Young, Saved, and Free, and I'm back with this week's Tuesday Talk. For everybody that's new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Brianna. I am the founder and the creator of Young, Saved, and Free. Yo, I've really been doing this for 3 years. This is crazy, right? Like, it's so crazy. I've been doing YouTube for about 2 years. I haven't really grown here as much as I want to, but you know, it's coming. It's coming. But for everybody else that's been here, welcome back to my channel. And everybody, please make sure that you are subscribed to my channel and also hit the notification bell down below so you never miss another video from me. And we're gonna go ahead and get into it. So this week is gonna be a little bit different. I didn't necessarily have like a mainstream issue or something that I wanted to talk about today. I really wanted to talk about this issue. It came up during an event that I was at in December, and I just really wanted to kind of talk about it because people kind of shy away from this, and it's kind of taboo in the church. So I want to kind of talk about it. I want to talk about when I was mad with God. Yes, so it's taken. I was kind of nervous about making this video. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. So I don't really know where to start. Sorry, y'all. I'm really trying to figure out where exactly I want to start. I'm not sad about it. I'm just really trying to, because it can be a really drawn out story if I want it to be. But I don't want to do that to y'all. I'm not gonna do that. I will say that it all started March 5th, 2015. On that day, it was Easter Sunday that year, and I tested positive. I took a pregnancy test and it was positive. And you know, there were so many emotions going on at that time. And for you all who don't know how old I am 28. So March 5th, 2015, I was 22 years old. And I was at my cousin's house, and because I noticed my body wasn't really doing what it normally should do, and I was sexually active, so whether I was pregnant, you know, it was a possibility that I could have been pregnant. I wasn't using protection. I had just started a new birth control, so it hadn't really gotten into my system yet. But I noticed I was sleeping a lot. Like, when I say a lot, I mean like hibernating after church. Like, we would get in from church and I wouldn't wake up until the next morning. And I was eating a lot, I was bloated, and I just was really, all the symptoms that anyone could have possibly had, I had them, including missing my period. So I took a test and it came back positive. And at that time, like I said, I was 22 years old. So I had just moved out on my own probably 6 months before then. And I was like, yo, my parents are gonna be so mad. Been on my own for 6 months and I'm already pregnant. Like, it's horrible. Like, I don't want to be a joke. I don't want them to think that I can't do this, or that, you know, that I'm just out here doing whatever I want to do, because it's not the case. You know, I was working, I was going to school, I was doing all this other stuff. Like, I was really working on myself, right? And so when I went to the doctor the first time, I went to the doctor who had actually prescribed me the birth control that I had just started. And she was like, didn't I just start you on birth control? Yeah, you did, lady, and now I'm pregnant. So when I took a test there, it came back negative. And I didn't really know how to feel. I'm like, yo, this test, it came out negative, but I still missed my period. I'm still having all these symptoms. My boobs are hurting. Everything is just all over the place. Like, my emotions are all up and down. Somebody need to tell me what's going on. And so, you know, I went to another doctor. Test came back positive. My period still has not started, and this was a month later. And I'm still eating a lot. And the thing is, me eating a lot was not the issue, because y'all also did not know, in high school, college, my name has been Munch. Like, I eat a lot. Like, a lot. So me eating a lot wasn't the issue. It was the way that I felt when I was eating that was the problem. It wasn't like I was hungry, but this was like I can't get full type of hungry. And I'm like, I don't like this. I don't like feeling like this. Like, it's not just I'm hungry. Like, let me get something quick. It felt like I couldn't get full, and I was like, I don't understand why this feels like this, because now I feel like I have to eat all day, every day, and I never have been that way. Like, I eat a lot, but it wasn't like that, you know? So I kept going to the doctor, and my test was coming back positive, but then they didn't see anything. I'm like, okay, well, what does that mean? And then they were like, well, you know, there was a case here where this lady had twins, and we never saw anything. Like, she didn't have a sac showing, she didn't have anything. And so, you know, we're just gonna keep treating you until, you know, as if you're pregnant, until, you know, we can figure out what's going on. So as time goes on, and I've told the story before, and I'll link it up here if I can find it. I'll link it in the card somewhere. Time goes on, I'm getting bigger and bigger, and it was very concerning for me because I've always been small. I've always been kind of thin. I've been solid. Like, I'm solid, but I've never been like a big girl ever. So, but I gained 70 pounds in like 7 months, and just to put this into perspective, it took me all 4 years of college to gain 15 pounds. Like, all 4 years. So for me to gain that much weight that quickly was very alarming, and nobody could really tell me what was going on. And as the time came for my due date, I was just like, I don't know what to do. So I walked off my job for FMLA at that time to figure out what is going on. Like, I would go walking every day. I was taking baths and clary sage, and it was like, for all the pregnant mamas out there, congratulations, first of all. Secondly, if you want to induce, go take a bath from clary sage, because it starts contractions. Because I was having contractions, like legitimate contractions, and was like freaking out because it was hurting so bad. And now I'm like, okay, well, let me go to the hospital. If someone goes to the hospital, they like I'll go to the emergency room. I'm like, yo, something's going on with me. And they looking at like, are you pregnant? I'm like, I don't know. And they're like, what you mean you don't know? Like, and this has been my life for this whole time. And at the same time, I'm going through issues with my family regarding this. And it was a lot happening. And so as a result, what ended up happening the day that I was supposed to be induced, I ended up getting a call from the nurse, and she said, you tested positive for PCOS. Never heard of PCOS, never had any kind of health issues before in my life. And so I remember at that moment, like, being so confused, like, what is that? I've never heard of that. I've never had any history with PCOS. I've never had any kind of, you know, I don't know what that is, and I don't know what that means. Somebody needs to explain it to me, right? And so she was trying, you know, she was like, you know, this is a specialist, blah, blah, blah. And I'm really just looking like, what is happening? Because when I started looking up PCOS, it was one of the leading causes for infertility. Keep in mind, I told you all, I'm 22 years old at this time. I have not even had a child. I was, you know, of course, I planned on having children. So, like, you're telling me, one, she told me I was diabetic. She told me that I would not be able to have children on my own without the assistance of medication. She told me I'll be on medication the rest of my life, and that I probably would have to be on birth control the rest of my life. And at that moment, I felt like everything was crashing around me. And I'm not gonna cry. I'm really not gonna cry in this video, y'all. I promise y'all I'm not gonna cry. I think I'm telling y'all that so that I'm telling myself that y'all just happen to hear it because I feel it. Ignore this makeup, y'all know how I am with my makeup. But I remember feeling like my life was over. Like, I was 22 just starting my life, and it felt like it was completely over, like, at that point. I can remember how I felt because I was actually living in Tallahassee at the time. For y'all that don't know, I'm living in Tallahassee once again. And I just remember thinking, like, I worked so hard to establish things for my children, and there's a chance I'll never have children. I plan on doing this today. I did not. And because I took an FMLA from my job to figure out what was going on, and I obviously did not have a baby to show for what was going on, I lost my job. And I had to go back home. So I don't know about you all, but for me, when I left my home, I had no intentions of ever coming back. I never wanted to go back to Augusta ever in my life because it was a place of pain and trauma for me. Like, it was very disturbing for me to be there. Like, I would go home, you know, to see people, and I would be able to live there. It was like, and to constantly be in areas where I know that I was traumatized. Like, there was, within the drive from where I was living when I, you know, once I moved out of my parents' house to my parents' house, I passed a place where I got shot at. I passed a place where I got into a car accident that nearly killed me. I passed a place where I was in the crossfire of a, you know, a gang-related event that happened. And it was very traumatizing for me to be there and to constantly see it, because literally, if I wanted to go to my parents' house, I was gonna have to pass at least one of those places. And like, even if I wanted to go to my grandmother's house, which was 5 minutes away from where I was living, I had to pass at least one of those places. And it was a lot for me. And that's why I'm so thankful for my pastor and my first lady, because they were with me during that time. My parents were with me, but at that time I needed God more than anything, and especially dealing with church hurt, because there were some things that were said about me in the church at that time that I did not appreciate. And it made me not want to go back to church. Not that I wanted to lose my relationship with God, but it made me not want to go back to church because I don't like people. I don't like church folk. I don't like people who don't have my best interest at heart, because I have such a big heart. At that time, I had not learned how to develop boundaries. I had not learned how to do any of that. And I'm just I remember being so upset with God for where I was, because not only did I have to move back home, but I had a room full of baby stuff in my apartment that I could do nothing with. And I remember looking at it and was like, I'll never be able to use this. I'm sorry. And I remember looking at it and was like, God, what I wanted more than anything in the world, I wanted to be a mother, I wanted to be a wife, and you took that away from me. And because who's gonna want to marry somebody that can't have children? You know? Oh, I'm crying. And I can't really see right now because I have the water so bad. But I remember being so upset, because had life gone my way, I would have been married at 21. At the latest, 23. And I wanted to have children right after that. Like, my mom had me when she was 27. I was determined to have children before then. I'm 28 and I don't have children. Like, I'm not even dating anyone at this moment. So, like, this is what I mean when I say I had my own plan for my life. And God was like, oh, you think you got a plan? I bet. And so, for me, the hardest part of all of that was learning to forgive God. Not that he did anything wrong, but because I was so hurt and so upset, and I just didn't want to be bothered with anybody. I literally did not leave my house. For the longest, like, I moved home. Well, technically, I got home April 30th. And I didn't leave my house like that. I would go to church, and that was it. I didn't want to do anything. I would go to church, stay home, fill out job applications, didn't get anything back for like 6 months, go to my grandmother's house. That's it. I was not. I didn't want to go there because I was so ashamed. Because being back home means they knew how I looked before. And now I have I gained 70 pounds before I got home, and then I gained an additional 30 after that. So I think at my heaviest 220. Wait, is that right? No. Yeah, at my heaviest I was 220, but that means that I gained, I gained 50 pounds during that 7 and 9 month period. And then after that, I gained another 20, 30 pounds. And it was traumatizing because it was like, I don't even look like me. I look like me in the face. Everything about my face was distorted. Everything, I didn't, like, even now, I'm not back as small as I was back then. I never wanted to be back that small, but it felt like everything came crashing down. Everything. I never wanted to drop out of school. I had to do that to move back home. I had to leave a place I love. I love Tallahassee. I do. I love being here. But I had to pack up and leave and find something back home. And I was so mad with God for this whole, not just for my health situation, but also for what happened when I was home. So while I was home, I never worked in my field, never did anything except for like a minimum wage job. And it was like, I was frustrated because it's like, I have a degree. I can't do anything with my degree. I'm not getting any callbacks or anything to do with my degree. What is going on? And on top of that, I'm living on my own, living paycheck to paycheck, and it's not where it's at. This can't be what you have for me. And so, I remember being so angry with God for allowing that to happen. And then people that I was involved with, they were not consistent, and I ended up getting in a really bad situation. Getting cheated on by somebody that was very, very close to me, and it was one thing after another, because I remember even in that relationship, I said, God, I don't have any other relationships left in me. I don't have anything left in me. I need you to make this be all right. And it wasn't. And I was just like, God, like, what is happening here? I told you I could not handle another heartbreak. I also had a miscarriage. Probably I would have gotten pregnant that October and with my daughter, and I got pregnant that October and lost her in January. And I can smile about it now because I understand that the doctor said I would never be able to conceive a child on my own or even carry a child on my own. And I did that. I conceived on my own. I mean, of course, God's hand was in it, but without any medication, I was able to conceive a child. But back then, I felt like I just failed. I felt like a failure. I felt like such a failure. And I was like, God, why do you want me to feel like this? Why is this happening to me? And I think I was in such a hard time because I never heard anybody talk about how they were bad with God. So I didn't know what I was feeling. I didn't understand what I was feeling. I just didn't understand because it was like, God, I'm mad at you, but I'm gonna keep going to church. I'm mad, but I'm gonna keep trying to find a way to still get through to you. And maybe if you see that I'm still trying, you'll change some things for me. Nothing changed. Nothing changed, but I stayed faithful. And it was like he stayed faithful because I stayed faithful. I didn't have everything that I wanted, but I had what I needed. And so if you're mad with God, I need you to understand that it happens. Faith is not a straight up uphill. It's not a vertical progression every time. Sometimes it's a cycle. Sometimes it's a little, it's a little wonky. Sometimes it's some days you up, some days you down, some days you way up here, and some days you in a low place, and it happens. It happens, but they don't tell people about that, and so. For people, even now, I know there's people now during COVID that are just so through with everything, and it's like, I get it. You're mad with God. I absolutely understand because there's a lot of things happening that we don't understand. Nobody understands what's going on. Nobody can give any clear direction on what exactly is happening, but we have to live through this every day. Nothing is changing. Everybody's saying that we should repent. We did that. It's nothing happening. I understand. Do not lose faith. Don't do that. That's what the devil wants you to do. Because the devil knows that it is impossible to please God without faith. So if you don't have that, you're already in the devil's hands. You're already in a place where you don't even care if he hears you or not. Because if you lost your faith, that means that you don't believe that he's able to do exceedingly and abundantly above all that you could ask or think. If you lost your faith, and that means you don't believe in miracles, signs, or wonders, and he's capable of all those things. I am a living miracle. You understand? You understand? The things that I've had to live through, even outside of this whole PCOS thing, outside of all of that, there's still things that that I've been through that people don't make it out of. That they kill themselves after going through it, and I made it out of it. You understand? So this is why you have to remind yourself who God is. Remember who he is and who he is able to be and who he is, just that he's the I am that I am. Know and understand that. And know that he is a God that sees what you're going through. He sees it and he's with you in it. So I don't really know why I wanted to make this video today. It's 10 o'clock or 10:15 on a Sunday night when I'm recording this, and someone told me, get up, put your makeup on, get dressed, make this video. So I'm making the video, and I hope that you all got something out of it. I hope that you continue to press on, continue to be the man and woman of God that he's called you to be. Life happens, I understand. I'm not being harsh at all. Understand that I'm not being harsh with you at all. No, understand, I love you. I genuinely love each and every one of you from the bottom of my heart, because if you're watching this, that means that you didn't give up. My whole channel, you can obviously look at the name of my channel and tell that it is something God related, and you still here watching, which means you didn't give up, you didn't lose your faith. So be encouraged. I love you all. Thanks again for watching. Bye.